For years, Alec Peters has claimed the Axonar financials he released were a complete and honest accounting of the donor funds raised in the early days of the infamous fan film. We knew something was fishy then, but we now know they're not at all what he claims they are, with the leaking of the statements for the Axonar Productions business bank account showing copious personal transactions across just 4 months. I've seen more. There's more to come. Today, Dean Newbury is back to break down the latest ramblings and discuss his support for Paul Jenkins in his fight against Alec. And it's been 3 months since Dean was here. Dean, my friend, welcome back to Trekzone. Body cam vision and now a bit of an explosive word diarrhea happening at the moment in Axonar land.
Well, thank you for welcoming me back, Matt. Appreciate it.
Didn't think that the introduction would include the word diarrhea, but here we are, because that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day, for sure.
And it's all started from Chris releasing these Axonar bank statements that we got, something that Alec said that everyone should have access to, and you can prove that I've only been spending my own money and I never bought sushi, I never bought tyres or insurance, and guess what, Dean? He did buy sushi and tyres and insurance and everything else.
Several other things, including adult leather goods, apparently.
For Klingon costumes! That was a legitimate production purchase.
That's one of the funniest things to come out of this so far. I'm astounded that one of his followers actually threw that out there. Amazing. Just, wow.
Because you don't need to justify everything just because your master can't do it.
Right. And then hilariously, the comment was deleted, I guess, shortly thereafter. Because I've been in the Reddit thread. It's gone. I've seen screen caps, but it's gone. So, somebody said, hey, take that down. So...
Yeah, exactly. Well, it has been an interesting 3 months since you were last here. As I said, we had that body cam footage released. That was from the police officers of that altercation in Atlanta. And now we're at a point where things are getting really... Well, they've always been personal, but they're really getting pointy now as this lawsuit between Paul and Alec drags on.
Yes, and... I think I'm going to give him a little credit here. He does have a talent for bringing people together, and he's definitely done that. And in the midst of this lawsuit with Paul Jenkins, we are coming together. We're banding together to try to help Paul, and I know that's why we're here to talk about today. And I'm actually excited with what's happening, and I'm looking forward to what may come of this chat too.
Yeah, it certainly has been an interesting week as we sort all this out. And you yourself have done what you can, creating a GoFundMe with Paul as a beneficiary. Funnily enough, there are some good crowdfunding projects out there, and this is one of them, and it's directly helping Paul. And I know for a fact that he's already sent the first part payment over to his lawyer, so this GoFundMe is working. What was the inspiration for you to sign this one up?
I think, like I said, he brings people together. Initially, he brought people together for Prelude and the excitement of Axonar, right? And now he's brought people together as critics in opposition to this 9-year, I don't even know what to call it, menagerie that we've seen, a film that has yet to be delivered, or two 15-minute segments, as it were. And throughout the course of this, we've come together as a group, and Paul, like myself, was formerly part of the production, and if you don't know the history of that, it's pretty convoluted, but he and I certainly bonded over the fact that we both used to work for this guy, and we both were sued by him. And at this point, Paul's legal his expenses are just huge. And I know I appreciate, and a lot of people appreciate, what he's taken upon himself just to try to get this guy into court, have him see a little justice, and hopefully just stop this reign of terror. I mean, I don't know what else to describe it. It's just this constant suing people, threatening to sue people. He sued to threaten me today, just today. It has to stop. It just has to stop. As well as, and I've had conversations with Paul. He talks about just the difficulties he's had within the legal system, not even with what Alec has created, the problems that Alec has created, but the legal system itself allows for this nonsense, allows for someone to, at least here in the United States, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but in the United States, it allows someone to just abuse people and force them to spend money that they don't have. I know that I hit that wall in our lawsuit as well. We had to have our own GoFundMe to try to help, and it helped a little bit, and very appreciative of the people that gave to our GoFundMe. But now I'm doing this one because Paul is actually in a position to perhaps stop this madness and get him into a trial in front of a jury and see some actual justice done.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there with Alec using the legal system as a weapon, it's exactly what he's doing, and he did it with Rob Burnett, who had to spend $30,000 to fight the lawsuit in the wrong state. All these things that Alec does that he just gets away with. It's part of the reason I call him Teflon Alec, and Paul really seems to be the guy to want to make this change. He is driven by the fact that enough is enough, and it's time to end this reign of terror, as you say. And Paul's legal bill has surpassed my mortgage on my house. So it's an incredibly staggering amount of money. And the interesting thing here is Paul's not actually asking for this. This is his friends coming out and saying, hey, we should give him a hand here because something has to give, and it can't be us again, us as in the people that Alec dislikes. It can't be us again because it's been us for so many times.
Absolutely correct, and that's the thing. This was something I volunteered. I took this upon myself. I set up the GoFundMe. We have some video clips that we cut together. And then I borrowed some, some of them I found online already. And, just the point of trying to do something for Paul, because he truly does seem to be trying to do something for everyone, for the many, the victims that have already, I don't know, felt the sting of this, and, the possible future victims, including myself. I mean, he threatened me again today, it just doesn't stop, and it needs to stop. And I do believe Paul's in a position to do that, but he needs help. He needs our help.
And he also needs the Forsyth County legal system to kind of recognise that they've seen Alec before and they've seen Alec's tactics before, and he's doing the same things. And the same things involve... I want to be careful in what I say here for obvious reasons, but we've seen this all before, and as you said before, the legal system in America just seems to be able to be used this way and be stretched to a point where someone or something breaks first, and that doesn't seem fair.
He sent me several online threats that I felt were appropriate to go to the police with, and in particular, he mentioned my children in one of them, and that was to me was the line that was too far. And the thing is that the police officer told me, and again, this is him knowing how to manipulate the system, was, you're right. The officer said, you're right. This is exactly what you're accusing him of. However, the words he used, the way he used them, he knows what he's saying. It's at the edge of the law, but it doesn't break the law. And that's how he seems to operate these lawsuits as well. He knows how to manipulate things. If he learned anything from his time in law school, it was how to manipulate the law to his benefit and how to hurt people with it.
The interesting thing with it, though, is that after so long, there are cracks in the armour that are starting to appear. 3 years with Paul on this one lawsuit, proving that there are things to be found, things that are illegal, misappropriation of funds and all these other things that we've been saying for years. The evidence is there now, and things are about to happen. And it's very clear that things are about to happen that Alec doesn't want to happen because of the way that he is rage posting at the moment. And as you said, threatening you again and threatening people trying to threaten people into silence. But we're all pretty much just laughing at him at this point.
It's not the first time he's threatened me again. I've lost count, honestly, and others. And from what I understand, some of the people that he attacked today are making statements. I'm sure he'll say something similar to them. That they'll have a threat of lawsuit coming their way. I'm sure. That's just what he does, right? But in the meantime, he's embroiled in this thing with Paul, and I really hope that our efforts of spreading the GoFundMe, getting it to as many eyes as possible, so that people can consider contributing. I mean, I really hope. I know this has helped a little bit, as you said. Paul's already been able to send a little money to his lawyer, and since that point, we've already gone up, quite a bit. And we hope, as we raise awareness, we hope it'll go up even more. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to help him. I understand there's a special hashtag that we're hoping people will use. Correct?
Yeah, there is. It is #StopToxicFandom because something that Paul told me was that this is not an isolated case. We've been so laser focused on Axanar and Star Trek fan films at Axamonitor, at Trekzone, that we haven't looked around. But Paul was telling me of cases where his friends in the industry have been sued because a person believed that there was some sort of connection with what didn't work out for them, and then there's other people that are suing creatives because they didn't like the way something happened, or all these other various things. This whole industry is rife with this toxic fandom, and we're not even diving into Doomcock or Mecha Random or any of these other actual toxic fans, but we're talking about more toxic fans that are actually using the legal system as a weapon, not just jumping on a YouTube channel and jumping up and down. These people are actually using the legal system in America as a way of hurting and being vexatious litigants. I love those two words.
Those are good words. Yeah, and I think you've definitely had some conversations with Paul. I have too, and completely outside of the issue of Alec, you're absolutely correct. You look at the faults in our legal system, you look at how people are able to abuse it, and just the absolute walls that he's run into trying to just get this case finished. It's quite astounding, and the fact that there's other people out there that are abusing it the way Alec has is alarming. I know that Paul has had conversations about using this opportunity to produce the documentary he's eventually going to produce and address this issue directly. Hopefully there will be interviews with maybe the people in the legal system that have, I don't know. I don't know what all he's planning exactly, but I know that, the documentary has taken a turn more towards how the system can be abused to hurt people. And I'm kind of excited about that too. I want to see how he presents that, his own story as well as others, I'm sure. And I think the main thing is let's just get this chapter over with. Right? Yeah. Let's get this thing to trial and hopefully close it out on a very high note and move on to the next chapter.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing for me in all of this that I find, and you've seen it, we were talking off air about how when you were a part of Axanar, you saw Alec's rage posting. There are, if you try and take the emotion out of it, of your side, reacting to Alec of your side, and you actually look at what he's posting, what he posts isn't helping his case in the way that he thinks it is. Posting a photo of binders and saying, hey, it's the full financial records, you can come and view them, but never actually showing us the financial records. There's also the one where he actually posted the copyright filing that Paul made, and Alec is saying he's declaring sole authorship of the script. Nowhere in that filing does it actually say, I claim sole ownership of this script. So Alec's whole point is baseless. how it's even gotten this far in the legal system dumbfounds me. It continues, and it's been going for 8 years.
8 years. Is it 8 years? Oh, let's see.
Oh, I don't know. I had more hair. I can guarantee that. Yeah. And I didn't lose it because of Alec. I just lost it because of my genes or something.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty gray these days. It might have something to do with him. The chin. You can see it in the chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to cause stress. So that's for sure. At the end of the day, like, the whole point of this is to cause less stress for Paul, right? So hopefully, we can accomplish that. I really want to see him be victorious. And the one thing that I know from my conversations with him is he cannot be victorious if he doesn't get into a courtroom. And that's the point of the GoFundMe. Also, I want to make a really important point, because Paul's opponent has done lots of GoFundMes. And, what I found out, because the first one I did, this is my second one. The first one I did, I was the beneficiary as well as my business partner, Jared. But this time it was Paul. Couple clicks of a button, I sent Paul a link. He was able to enter his bank information. Every single penny that's raised on this GoFundMe goes directly to him. And what we've seen on the various Axonar, pet rescue, blah, blah, blahs, or some other GoFundMes that have been done, the beneficiary has not been the people that it was supposed to help. I've seen that. And I don't know. I find that interesting. I also find it kind of consistent with all that's been going on, right? I
did ask Paul whether he was going to take an all expenses paid trip to London for a Warhammer hobby of his. He said no. He said his lawyers wanted the money first. That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, jump onto Axomonitor, because he spent, I think it was about $10,000 taking himself to London for his Warhammer hobby. That's in the financials that have been released. But Dean, we're told that that's inappropriate to assume, because he put his own money into that account.
Well, correct. Well, there was also an amazing, expensive night out to the ArcLight Cinemas in Hollywood, which I mean, there was 5 or 6 entries there, including film tickets, and I'm assuming concessions, and that sounds fun. That's a cool cinema. There's even like the parking receipt. I don't know. Was that research for Axonar?
Research, or it was a perk of being part of the cast and crew, because apparently $100 worth of sushi feeds the entire crew.
Oh, yeah. That was posted wasn't that by the same person that was talking about the leather?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
$196.20. I have that amount burnt into my mind, because in doing the research, I had to create a Google search history that I'm not proud of. And now the ads that I'm getting on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
I think I need to burn that account.
For those that don't understand what we're talking about, some of the financials were released from 14 or 15?
2014, and it's only 3 months worth.
3 months worth. Is there more? I don't actually know.
I've been told that there is more, yes. And from what I understand, it's going to be the best traditions of a television drama, a telenovela, where you are just going to have to keep tuning in to check this out. I know Paul is heading on to Rob Burnett's weekly show. More details, more saucy details are going to be coming in the weeks ahead.
Oh, my. Really? That's exciting news. Okay. Look forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, you've got to keep up on #StopToxicFandom. And I'm also putting the call out there in our Flipper. If you do have stories to tell in this regard, not necessarily just with Axonar, but in general, love to hear them in the comments here. Let's actually shine a light on this seedy, dark underbelly side of the industry that, Dean, you and I work in. The entertainment industry just has all of these toxic fans everywhere.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with the GoFundMe and this topic. Certainly, it's an important one, I think we've all seen toxic fandom in various forms, certainly. This is probably the largest example I can think of, but let's see what we can do to end that.
Just incredible everything that is happening once again. The Axonar drama is heating up. Dean, I really appreciate you beaming in, catching up from the last 3 months. Plenty of details and plenty more to come as well, mate. Have a good Chrissy. We'll see you in the new year.
Take care, Matt. Thanks again.